I'm just going to jump right into this topic because this is a topic that I'm not so comfortable talking about, but I feel is necessary to discuss. So if you are unaware of the event that I'm going to be discussing today, to put it bluntly, 17 innocent people were murdered at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida in 2018 after a gunman opened fire. My first concern regarding the reporting of this tragedy was, media outlets are just doing this just so they can get some viewership. However, after 2 weeks of news coverage for primarily this event, I was still a little bit confused. As a news viewer in America, I'm aware of how the news media cycles through shootings like these. Gun violence is not something that news and media outlets in America are willing to shy away from. Yes, shootings do happen in America. We're all very aware of that. It seems like it's everywhere, but shootings aren't necessarily everywhere. That's just what the media wants you to think. In a study titled Mass Shootings in the Media, Why Not All Events Are Created Equal, researchers Jamie Schaudkraut, H. Jamie Elsis, and Kimberly Meredith used a technique called media distortion analysis. This technique allowed the researchers to assess why some cases are covered over others and what factors increase the prominence of coverage. This is due to the fact that, who would have thought, the continuous coverage of these events has perpetuated beliefs that mass shootings happen more frequently than is reality, regardless of the phenomenon's low statistical probability of occurrence. That basically means not a lot of people are going to directly experience a mass shooting in their lifetime. So how does this relate to the Parkland shooting? Well, and I hate to say this, there is a certain amount of newsworthiness when it comes to reporting a shooting. It depends on 5 characteristics. 1, the severity of the event, which includes how many fatalities and injured victims. 2, if the perpetrator is a female. 3, if the perpetrator is not white. 4, the perpetrator actually happens to survive the attack. And 5, any shooting that occurs outside of a school. With these characteristics in mind, news outlets are able to dictate how long coverage is shown for a particular shooting. In very rare and extreme cases, a coverage can last for a week. This brings us to the amazing survivors who used the excessive news coverage of the Parkland shooting to their advantage. Took to the journalists in order to allow their voices to be heard and changing the talking points of these journalists from one of another shooting in America to rising up and talking about gun violence, gun control, and how we need change now. So what's the moral of the story here? Simply put, news outlets report on bigger crimes because they know they'll get more viewership from it. But that doesn't mean shootings are always happening and occurring in a certain area. So the next time you're watching the news and a shooting happens and it's not even in your area, just turn it off. Wait for a traffic report or the weather report because that's something that'll be more useful to you than hearing about another shooting in America.